have Nikhil with me here today. He's a very good friend of mine. Funny enough, whom I met in Goa, where we were supposed to study in an ACM summer school, and we did study. For the record, we studied a lot. We had some of the best professors there, actually, now that I think of him. They're from IT Madras, if I'm not wrong, right, Nikhil? They're from IT Madras,
From multiple
professors.
IITs, majorly from
From
IT
multiple
Madras.
IITs,
Yes.
yeah. And they taught a lot of things about ML back then. Now it's all about LLMs, which we'll talk about, of course, later. But Nikhil is currently working as a AI research scientist at LG. He's in Toronto right now, Canada. He finished his master's in data science from Toronto, University of Toronto. Which is a 1 year course, which we'll talk about again, because normally those masters are for 2 years, but how did that do in 1 year? Um, of course, and he did his undergraduate BTech from Thapar Institute of Technology. And yeah, today we're going to talk about a lot of stuff related to that. So thank you very much, Nikhil. How is everything going on? How's everything been?
Oh, thank you, Abhay, for inviting me to your podcast, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm looking forward to all the questions or to interact with the audience and contribute in any sense whatsoever I can
Yeah.
to elevate your viewership and the kind of experience you're looking forward to.
Great. Thank you. So I will go back from the thing where it started. So sort of, how does one go from Thapar to University of Toronto? How how
Ah,
how what did you do? And specifically, what I want to focus on is what did you do differently there? Like, you know, University of Toronto is a big deal. It's like in the top 10 in the world, and you did a master's in data science there, which I guess is a big deal again. And yeah, so you have to send out of all the applications because, as people might know, masters specifically in data science, which is a hot field and still is was still a hot field and still a hot field, is a big deal. So yeah, what did you do? How did you stand out in an
sure.
application? That's exactly what I'm asking. Yeah.
Sure. Let me start even a little back what I was
Okay.
doing in
Yeah.
bachelor's. Yeah, as Abhay mentioned earlier, third year of bachelor, final year of bachelor's was the one when we both met.
Yes.
That was actually the first 2 years in bachelor's were usual. Of course, there were I was into the computer science engineering field, pursuing the normal courses like databases, operating system, data structures, and others. When it was a pre-final year, multiple streams were disclosed to the students in my university that I got attracted to the field of machine learning and data science, uh, uh, from where the journey had started. Following that, I was applying for to get good experience, good study, just to have a have a hands-on through different projects. Second, make the basics strong, my base strong by studying from professors who are really masters in that field, and going to go university in ACM summer school was one of the point which I guess leveraged or attracted me the most at that point in time. And I'm a silver medal from Thapar University in computer science engineering. For my pre-final and final year, I chose the courses which more aligned towards the science related to machine learning. This included machine learning basics, data science and analytics, which is more like used in financial sector these days. Deep learning and natural language processing were some of the courses related to this domain. But of course, image processing itself, computational linguistic, these were the other non-machine learning courses, which made the basics for me to hop on to the current neural networks, specialized neural networks that we use these days. Following my bachelor's, I pursued a software engineering job for about
Okay.
2 years in the company called InfoEdge.Naukri.com, headquartered in Noida, India. Although the title says it was a software engineering, but the kind of projects I was more aligned to, we now call as machine learning engineering. So out of the two years journey, about 6 months is when I learned most of the software engineering stuff, the basic one, uh, how Docker works, what is containerization, why versioning is required, what is Kafka, and that stuff, where which of course are important because eventually even machine learning engineers are computer scientists. So those things are important.
Yeah.
And following that, for about 1.5 years out of my job, I was indulged into machine learning engineering kind of roles. But at the same point in time, there was always a lack of having a particular degree in the field of machine learning or data science, which was kind of a barrier to me at that point in time for looking to the specific roles that I wish to pursue at that point in time. And that was the time when I decided to put an application to start looking for schools which could give me a next academic degree in that field. And uh, if you're into the field of data science, the very first name that we all have heard of is the father of deep learning, Sir Geoffrey Hinton.
Totally.
And the particular university he aligns to, or he comes from, or where he had done most of his research time, is
This is
University of Toronto. But University of Toronto is real the foundational fountainhead of deep learning in the world, from where it all had started. Um, Although data science date backs to way back,
Oh yeah, the
but
critical
still,
things of it was done back in
the
the 80s. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, things go dates even back.
Yeah.
Deep learning, or the data science that we are using right these days, was laid foundation in 1987, when Sir Geoffrey Hinton came up with this idea of using backpropagation for the first time. And neural networks became a concrete thing at that point in time. But still, it was a winter for AI, because the software itself was a booming field then for about 20 years. And later on, we all know
And I guess we
how
did not had
what
that
pro
kind of hardware also at that point in time. The GPUs were not there. If you had to do it on a CPU, to take days, if not months. Mhm.
which attracted me to pursue a master's program. Then looking at the program, I started looking what are the master's program available in this university. And since I told that I was an academic scholar, I was a silver medal from Thapar University. So I was sure that where I'll apply, I'll get the admit, but I don't want to just waste my academic journey for going anywhere, but want to learn from the best. And that's when I put my application for a master's degree program
So I would like to
here
go
in
back
University of
to
Toronto.
your Thapar days. I remember you were doing some sort of research there also. I do not remember with whom you were doing it. And I guess it was with IIT, some professor in IIT Delhi. Is that correct?
Um,
Uh,
yes,
yeah, you were
correct.
working in
So
collaboration with someone. Yeah, please go ahead, talk about that. Yeah.
sure. So during my final year, I was working on simple basic machine learning models, which we now call as classical machine learning models, logistic regression, decision tree, and others. I was working on a healthcare problem. Classification of drug molecules using machine learning techniques is what I was looking at. How I chose this problem, why I chose this problem, even I don't know. This was something available to me at that point in time. I want to have my hands on. That's how my first research publication came out in an SEI Scopus journal. But
Nice.
apart from that, when I started my first job as well, uh, although I was doing my uh, most of the weekdays I was spending in office, but meanwhile I thought that I do have time, so I joined my hands and applied for a research assistantship under a professor in IIT Delhi. And by God's grace, he allowed me to work part-time on this. So I was doing most of the work for IIT research projects, IIT Delhi research projects, either on my weekdays or after my work hours. And rest of the time I was spending with my company. So it was a two-way learning which was happening to me. The industry was giving me an exposure to actually see how to put these models into production. which is what machine learning engineers role look like. And my research assistantship with IIT Delhi was giving me a chance to explore the things more theoretically, inside out, what loss function to use, what things to take care of when solving a problem, how to mathematically operate and change the things. So I pursued these two jobs hand in hand at that point in time, and I was at IIT Delhi for about a year as a research assistant or research associate roles.
Great.
Yeah,
Actually, this is what I feel was one of the standing. I personally feel that's one of the standing points. Like that's what made your application stand out when you must be applying for University of Toronto and for your masters in
true,
data
true.
science.
It
Because
was
yeah,
yep. Because going for masters and applying for masters in U of T, it's really uh, tough to get admit for the
definitely.
obvious reasons.
For sure.
Uh,
The acceptance rates I was checking is like less than 1% there. If I'm remember correctly. I might be
to that, and especially if
mistaken
you want to
for
go
master's
into
program
the field of
specifically.
data science.
It's hard. Yeah,
Yes,
that's good. So one question I had about this was if you're about your master's here at Master's Toronto in Toronto, I'm sorry. Was your data science program was of 1 year. It was not of 2 years that usually